Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening everybody. It is I, Le French Ben, for another Techy Tips Tuesday video. This week we're gonna do a short video, unlike last week, about storage. And by that I mean, where do you put your files, how do you put your files, and the volume of the files and how you can play on that a little bit. So what are compressing softwares? Basically, they take a massive chunk of files, they compress them together and makes them very tiny without losing any quality, without losing anything else but the volume of the storage. So I prefer WinRAR myself because it's free. If you open a file like that, for example, you double click on it, it's gonna pop up and tell you, oh, you need to buy the license. But honestly, you just click on the red cross and you can still use it for free. And WinRAR is amazing because those compressing softwares are amazing because they do not erase anything, they just compress the files, they make them really tiny. And as you can see, those are all the graphics that I used for the last Christmas event, and they're pretty big. I have Photoshop files, I have picture files that are really detailed and very heavy, but as you can see now they only weigh 274 megabytes on my computer. But if I open it, this is the real size. It's very big compared to 30 items compressed into 274 megabytes. It's life-changing. WinRAR is your friend. I encourage you to download it and install it. Why? Just because if you have less files on your computer, number one, it's gonna run smoother and longer, and number two, it's just less messy that way. When I'm done with the project, I just compress it and I put it online and on a separate device. Which brings me to my tip number 2. You should get an external drive or a USB stick. That's my external drive that I use. I back up stuff on it every so often, like every 3 months or so. I just back everything up on it. This one is less than a terabyte and I got it on sale like 5 years ago. They used to be really expensive, now they're quite affordable. Or you can buy those tiny USB sticks. This one is 16 megabytes and it was $5 at Walmart, like $5, and you can back up most of your work on that thing. And you can buy one once a year, and you should also make a copy on a virtual platform. I'm talking Google Drive, I'm talking Dropbox or iCloud. Don't really know how that last one works. I don't use it myself, but it does work as a cloud platform. Why I use those two options? Well, typically just because they both can fail. And yet, yes, it is important to keep your computer light and fluffy and not overloaded with old projects and old database, but it's also important to keep those files because you don't want to go through Facebook and look for the past 5 years of the doTERRA business and look for that PDF. So you want to download it and save it somewhere, but you need to know where it is, and you need to have multiple saves of that. Multiple save just because sometimes things happen, the Dropbox can fail and the files get corrupted. You did the wrong manipulation, they update something and it messes around. On a physical drive, it's technology, it's failable. My drive is kind of old, it might die at some point, it might stop working. USB sticks, if they fall into water, something happens, someone drops hot chocolate on them, you never know. So really, I encourage you to use those two saving methods, virtual and physical. And lastly, I want to encourage you to check your folders regularly. I'm going to show you how many emails I have just quickly. As you can see here on my email tab, you see I have almost 1,000 emails. It's almost time for me to go and do a spring cleanup. Why to do that? Just because it can really slow down your computer. This one is fine, but I remember my older laptop, it was kind of old, and it was very, very slow to load the email. Just the emails. Everything else was fine, just the emails was super slow. I'm talking half a minute, almost 2 minutes to load, just the emails. Click on an email, typing an email, which I do half the day, was really slow. So at some point I just took some time and I just deleted all the old emails. I also want to encourage you to go through your Google Drive or virtual platform. Let's go on miscellaneous. That's the folder I created on my Google Drive with all the random stuff. Or some small event is happening or I need to keep track of one little detail, bam, miscellaneous. it's all here. And I do look into it, or I do look into the drive regularly to delete all files. We have on Kimberly's file, for example, we have all videos from 2018. Nobody is gonna use that. And as you can see, videos are one of the heaviest files on your computer or on a cloud platform like that. That's it for this Techy Tip Tuesday video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I want to encourage you to get into the habit of compressing and storing your files to the best of your ability. It is important, and if you're running a business, it is important to remember where you put stuff and how to access this quickly. That way, if I want a file from 2019, 2018, when I started to work, I know that I just have to plug it, double click on the 2018 folder, and it's there in like 30 seconds, it's accessible. So thank you very much for watching. As usual, you can contact me, Facebook and emails, everything's on the screen if you need it. Don't hesitate to ask a question in the comment section of Team App. I always check the Techy Tips Tuesday video if you have a question. I'm here for you, obviously. And I will see you next week for another Techy Tips Tuesday video. Bye bye!